Hello and good afternoon, everyone. It's really an interesting conversation we have set up today. In the last two videos, you would have seen about what transformation education can do for your business. And the second session was all about creating quality connections, right?
Yes.
So these were
correct.
the two conversations we had. So thank you, Randy. You have come up with yet another conversation on this. And as a organizing partner of our certificate in applied entrepreneurship program, I understand that a lot of people are like, okay, another certification program, what it has to offer. But before we talk about that, we really want to give a lot of value for what everybody is listening to, and they would want to know about how to establish effective collaborations that can convert to cash.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Aziza. Yes, I have yet more questions. Yeah, and this is one of the things that they ask. You mentioned that you want to actually talk about the 3 keys of collaboration today. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear that. Can you share more, Dr. Aziza?
Yes. So we have established what we call 3 steps or 3 keys to effective collaborations. And these 3 keys can be applied to any part of your life, but I'm going to say this just for the power of coming together. Remember, our connections are like what? Like this. Remember, we talked about it in our previous video. So in this video, we want to really give you the 3 steps that can spell out your collaborations or your connections turning into an effective collaboration and converting to cash. So the first thing you need to be very, very clear about is the clarity in the outcome of the collaboration. So what do you really want? This is a two-way conversation. It is not one size fits all. So it is not about me saying, I'm very clear. It's your responsibility to be clear. It's not like that. If you go into a collaboration, it's a two-way conversation, and you need to be clear what you want and be clear what the other person is expecting from you. So in order for this to be, so the clarity is where most people fall out of a partnership or a collaboration. So if you notice in the first session, we talked about transformational education, getting yourself aligned to a deeper level of clarity of what you really want in your life, focusing on individual. So when we talk about collaboration, it not be a partnership, right? It could be a project based. It could be a 1 month, 2 month, a particular segment of your business. So you want to get into your clarity of what you want out of that particular one, which means you may need to go phase by phase approach. So if you are working with a collaboration, and the clarity comes when we give phase by phase approach, this is what Mr. Aipadas, my business partner, always says, baby steps. So this will, I'm not interested in going into this trust conversation because that's what the third key is all about. Just before I step into that, the first thing is your clarity. You need to be clear, and the person you are collaborating with you must be very clear. And they are clear of the outcome of this particular segment of the collaboration. So taking baby steps. Step 1, what are we going to achieve? With that clarity comes the next, the most important, the clarity of the conversation. The next one is consistency in communication. This is step number 2, right?
Okay.
The key number 2 is consistency in communication. So this is where I want to say that this is nothing to do with trust. I want to go against the conversation that people say, you need to build trust. I am going to be defying that conversation because trust is in you, trust is in yourself, and your responsibility to build it within you. Just imagine, Randy, how often do people jump into projects very excitedly, hoping to create a result, or they give an opportunity to others, or they take up an opportunity, also excited, feeling that it's going to be a bed of roses, and then suddenly something just triggers them and they feel is not right, and they create chaos. Have you seen such things happen?
Yeah, I would say almost all the time.
Yes, many collaborations fall out, And one of the things that they lack in those collaborations is the consistency in communication. They refuse to communicate what is not working. And I always tell our business partners and people who come on board to collaborate with us, don't trust us. Don't trust us. Trust yourself that you have chanced upon this partnership. Trust yourself. You attracted this. So what do you want to achieve out of it? If you went into a partnership with so much of joy, so much of excitement, that feeling is the real feeling. As long as you've done your due diligence, as long as you have made the right intuitive gut decision, it can never go wrong.
Yes, you're so right, Dr. Aziza. And a lot of times is, the trust is actually not on that person. The trust is actually how you bring about in this collaboration that you mentioned. And a lot of times is you came out of this collaboration without that level of trust that you have with that relationship, and that break down the relationship. And a lot of times when you mention that, it dawned on me, yes, this happens a lot of times.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when we are talking about trust within myself, that means I trust this thing will work because I have done my due diligence. I'm going to work on this. And I create consistency in communication, which is the second key. And when I'm doing this, remember, we are talking about in the earlier video again, the quality connection. These are the people that you have attracted into your life. You have magnetized them with your energy, with your aura. And when they have showed up, it is time for you to put your trust to practice. And this means you want to create a structure and a system and communicate this system to everybody in order for it to work. And this is where you don't blame others. You take 100% responsibility. Or rather say taking, I want it to be being responsible. That is the beingness and the ability to respond with a lot more strength and power because you want to create the right outcome. The outcome that you desire in the first part, the clarity. That's right.
Right,
so
right.
The final thing is what the third key, which is commitment to see it through.
Exactly.
Commitment to see it through. This is the third key. When you say commitment to see it through, that's where the real cash lies. I cannot tell you enough about the kind of collaborations and partnerships I've created. And my mentors are like, wow, Aziza, you're such, you're just going all out. And Aipaji and myself, we go all out with all partnerships. We don't let people go. That is the truth of it. We are all inclusive environment. For many people who know us, we are not going anywhere. We're just here, right here, not going anywhere, not jumping around doing different things. We're just doing what needs to be done. So when we are committed to a journey and when people come in, we can observe what level they can play. That's why even our, the tagline that we have, we take you as far as you want to go. So when you go into a collaboration and you say, okay, this collaboration is going to have this outcome in phase 1. So are we happy with the first outcome? Then we say, okay, this commitment is over. Now let's recreate another commitment. One of my mentors, and I follow her footsteps very closely, she created 3 years commitment plans with partnerships. And guess what? One of her partnership is as old as 20 years. So renewing and renewing and renewing. And I just love the way that she has, this is what we're talking about, commitment after commitment to see it through. And this is where, we talk about it, where the whole trust factor is unfolded. Because if you trust yourself to walk it through, no matter what happens, because you have manifested this partnership, then you have to see the end result, whether it's out or not. If you can't walk it through, you'll never know if the end result has showed up or not.
Exactly. I love this. I love this.
So
all right.
Let's go and count. Let's recollect that. Clarity in your outcome, consistent in communication, and commitment to see it through.
Commitment. Wow.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I learned a lot in this session. And that comes to another question, wow, it's all rosy and so on and so forth, but what can go wrong? And this is something that, can you share more about that?
when it's what can go wrong means boluya. That's what we say in Chinese, right?
Yeah.
No money,
Bolui.
no money come out of it, right? That is what we say go wrong. Okay, so maybe the outcome is not what we wanted. This is where the last key, the commitment to see it through, come into space. And we need to relook at what is not working. When we are in an effective connection, remember the first two, I want to reflect back to the first two conversations. When you are an evolving human being, when you know that mistakes are not sin, right? Or rather, I would say it the other way. Mistakes are sin only when you don't admit it. When we relook at if Bolui, really no money has showed up because of the collaboration, we revisit what's happening and what's not working. So in your first when we talk about a personal evolution, a human being will come to a clarity that, hey, these are the things that didn't work. It could be genuinely a mistake from your side or genuinely a mistake from the other person's side. So in order for the relationship to work, we relook at the structure and the strategy that has been created. Okay, then if it's not working, like what you say, what can go wrong is really no money, right? So we relook at the solution on what didn't work. Is it the kind of efforts done? Is it the kind of clarity? Remember, whether the outcome of the clarity was not there in the first place, or there was lack of communication, or we didn't wait until the patience to see it through. So when you are an evolved human being, you will give others a chance to walk the journey with you. And I loved it. One of the lady that we had in our Womenpreneur online series, and she has about 40,000 members in her online group. She said this really powerful statement. She said, a relationship is when you encounter a problem that means really the outcome was not what we expected, and it is a failure. Let's use that word. It's a failure. A relationship is when you relook at it, you said, okay, this didn't work. Let's close this up, walk out, and walk back in and start everything all over again.
Wow.
That is an effective, a quality relationship. That means you need a new level of conviction in yourself to create that belief in yourself that it's going to be a new slate altogether and start it all over again. And I can tell you the number of people definitely in our partnerships, in our shareholders teams, where so many of them like, okay, this project didn't work. Okay, let's relook at it. We're going to do it another way, and we're going to make it work this time. And so many of it has come across, come out in the most magnificent, beautiful ways. And that is where I feel that our direction should be in terms of creating that clarity. And as we say, is a human spirit. The second one, when we talked about it in the last session about quality connection, I want to reiterate. Yes. The quality connection is the one, the 3 support groups. Remember, they are the ones, and please look at that video if you have missed it. They are the ones that can stand with you to create that magic for you in your business. If you can really put them into the right perspective and put them to use. And we all know human beings are made to be used, to be interdependent, to be, no more independent. There's no self-made millionaires. We don't believe in that. You need another human being to give you $1 million in order for you to be a millionaire. So all these...
That's so true. Yeah.
So that's all these myths that's going around. So here we are with a lot of clarity in saying that in order for you to have effective collaboration, it's a two-way conversation. Yes, you can expect things to go wrong. There may be things that didn't work out the way that you want. How can you make it right is the conversation. And it's about recommitting and re-strategizing for everything to happen. And I want to give you an example of how our collaborations show up. We make sure that people come to us in phased manner. For example, when we do these, remember in the other video I talked about the 1,000 leads that we generated. We had very clear agreements. We had very clear agreements with partners. We say, okay, you're going to walk this journey from here to here. We're going to lead generate. Are you happy with the lead generation? Yes, you are. Do you want to move on further? No, I'm happy with it. I'm done with you. And we move on. So it closes there. Or are you ready to move on to the next level? Yes, I am. So now let's go into the next level of income generating. So this is how I have to tell you all our leads are income generating leads. So the magic word is income generating. Your effective collaborations, both parties must know what is income generating. And I can tell you, you can expect collaborations to fail. I'm using this word, people can say, energetically, to be positive. You can expect it to fail. Work as if it is going to be the best success ever. So this is like, what we call the state of equanimity, to be at peace with whatever that's happening, really with no attachment, but working towards it with clarity and power.
Wow. Wow. That's so fantastic. Yeah. Oh, not just looking at this video that we have shared so many in the 3 videos. If you have not watched the last 2 videos, please watch them. All right, like Dr. Aziza mentioned, that the first one is talking about transformation education. Right, you need to really look into that if you have not. Okay, this is something that we offer in this CAE. And then also the next thing, we talk about connections, networks. That is also very important.
That's right.
So go through them.
Yes, and what we are looking at right now is in this, people will be wondering, so how do I do this? Show me. And many programs, and we have seen so many training programs where people come in and give all these testimonies. One person doing it doesn't mean that you can do it, right? This is like a known secret nowadays. Everybody should be aware that if somebody can do it, not necessarily you can do it, but if you commit to doing it, you definitely can do it. Like the power of the effective collaboration was one of our students in the CAE program. Within the 6 weeks, like I think we mentioned about her, she generated 10 times the money she invested, number one, and she declared it. And on top of that, we created an effective collaboration that she generated more money from that within the 6 weeks. And the collaboration was with us, that with Go Global Business School, we exposed her work and through her network, a whole bunch of global prosperity teachers that she was speaking in a global stage online. So this is something that can happen when you allow it to happen. This is why the power of consciousness becomes very important. So it's about creating that balance in your life where you are creating money and creating success in whatever way you want to call it. Success is a very subjective word. What you want to achieve in your life. So whatever that you want to achieve, creating it in a flow and with a group of powerful, empowering people. So in the Certificate in Applied Entrepreneurship program, there is 3 outcomes we are guaranteeing. All is in the number of 3. It's a magic number. Please take note.
Yes, 3. This is the 4th or 5th one.
Yes. So the 3 things you can expect out of it is, number 1, to definitely earn back the money you invest within the session from sources or new ideas from the program, number 1. Number 2 is you end up collaborating within the team and finding new partners for yourself because everybody is getting aligned to a new space. Number 3 is the exciting thing that many people look forward to, is collaborating with Go Global Business School and taking forward your business to a new space of clarity and power with a long-term plan with short-term phase processes. So this is what we are all about. So anyone, I'm sure everyone who's right now in this space, be it you're a startup looking for new ideas to grow your business, and we are really very, very good at working with SMEs, taking forth a new level of clarity and power, because right now everybody's resetting their business. So this is the best time for us to connect and make sure that your reset is done with a solid foundation of market mechanism, capital mechanism, and social mechanism, the 21st century sociality that we bring to the table. And this is something that you can take forth your journey at a whole new level. Whatever the situation shows up, this or anything worse, you are there all ready to, grow and grow and grow for the highest good of humanity, for your business to flourish and be the success that you want it to be. So that's what it is. So connect with us and connect with Randy to really take part in the CAE that's coming up on September 30th, the next intake. And we look forward to seeing all of you at the CAE program. Thank you so much,
We'll see
Randy,
you.
for holding the fort on that. Yes, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.